Hello guys, today we're going to be doing a survivor's guide for Forsaken. Keep in mind that the game is still in alpha and everything I show is subject to change. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first character we have is Noob. His ability. Now, before I even begin any of this, I'd like to mention that this video does not include any gameplay. But because but you can find lots of other videos of gameplay somewhere else on YouTube. Because I just want to make this video quickly and help people know how to play the characters. So Noob has 3 abilities. Bloxy-Cola. Oh no, I used it. So Bloxy-Cola gives you speed 1 for 10 seconds. While you have the speed, you're just pretty fast. It's good for running from the killer, making sure it helps you juke better. And yeah, that's what Bloxy-Cola does. Now, my tips for Bloxy-Cola are try as hard as you can to save your 2 Bloxy-Colas for the end game, because you don't want the killer to even give you a haircut there. You should use it right when you realize the killer is close to you, because it does take some time to drink, and while you are drinking it, you can't really go fast. Like, see, I'm sprinting right now. I drink it. I don't go very fast. The killer would easily catch me if I was in the middle of a chase. I drank the Bloxy-Cola. So that's the Bloxy-Cola. The next item we have is the Slate Skin Potion. The Slate Skin Potion makes you invisible for 10 seconds. It has the same drinking conditions for Bloxy-Cola. After you drink it, you're pretty slow. Even when you sprint, you're slow. When you walk, you're slow. So it's recommended while you're in the Slate Skin form, you do not sprint. You just walk. And either way, the ways you should use Slate Skin is at the very end of the game, when there's 10 or 7 seconds left, you drink the potion if it's as a last resort, because you do not want the killer to find you at that time at all, or hurt you at that time. The last ability is Ghost Burger. Now, Ghost Burger has an infinite amount of uses, but it has a pretty lengthy cooldown. So, Ghost Burger is very good because of the undetectable effect you get and it stays for a while. So, when you eat the Ghost Burger, you go a bit invisible. Yummy. You go invisible. You could still sprint under these effects, but it's pretty hard to find. The invisibility works best when you're inside of a very dark space. Like here, if you did like if I went to a really dark place, example place, right here. This is pretty dark, and I ate the Ghost Burger. Let me just yeah, I don't know where that command is. Anyways, I'll show you later. When you eat the Ghost Burger, you go kind of invisible. We covered that, but if you do it in a dark spot, here, the cooldown's about to finish. Yummers, you are much harder to see if you do it in a dark place. So so if you want to use the invisibility to its best, you should use the dark spot. Now, the other effect that the Ghost Burger gives is undetectable. The reason this effect is so good is because the killer usually has multiple abilities and multiple reasons for he or she to see a little aura of the player. When the killer sees the aura of the player, they will find you unless you have the effect undetectable. So if you time the effect undetectable, if you time the Ghost Burger right before the next to last survivor dies, and if you're the last survivor, the killer won't be able to see your aura at the end at all. So you'll see where they are, but they won't see where you are, which is extremely overpowered, because the killer will waste so much time just walking around looking for you while you're sitting down in a spot, just yippee, yippee. And that's Noob. Now, let's go to the next survivor. Wait, why did I kick? Kill. Plol. So, the next survivor is Elliot. Now, Elliot is much more simple. than the noob because of his abilities. Elliot has 2 abilities, Rush Hour and he throws a pizza. The throwing pizza ability, Elliot throws a pizza. What the pizza disappears after 25 seconds, and the aura for the pizza is highlighted to all of the survivors for a while. Now, by the way, the pizza is pretty good because it can heal any survivor for 35 HP. When it does heal the survivor for 35 HP, you get $10 and 15 XP, which is really good for grinding XP and money, because if you heal 4 people around, you get as much money as you would from winning, because currently the money you get from winning is $40. So the next ability is Rush Hour, which gives you speed 3 for 3 seconds. This ability is very special because you can only use it if it has 1 charge. If you use the 1 charge, you cannot use the ability again unless you throw a pizza and heal someone with it. If you do heal someone with the pizza, you get an ability. You get a little bit of boost. Just get a boost. Yay! You get the charge. You know? It is very good, very happy, very amazing, very yay when you do get the charge. And that's all I have to say. Also, when you use Rush Hour, I recommend you use it as a last resort. Like only when you're under 50 HP, you go to get as much distance as you can from the killer. Now, let's move on to the next survivor. The next survivor we have on the list is 2-Time. 2-Time is a good survivor, and there's multiple ways to use him. But I'm going to cover the correct way to use him. So, I'm already in my 2nd life. So, let me explain. Right now, I'm in my 2nd life because the game thinks of me as the last survivor. When you're the last survivor as 2-Time, you're reborn into your 2nd life. Yeah, 2-Time has 2 lives. 2 lives, pretty cool. What you normally have 40 HP in your 2nd life, and you gain weakness 3, and you gain weakness 2 or 3 after you're thrusted into your 2nd life, and speed. You want to be careful with this because you usually want to use the 2nd life when you're the last survivor alive to get the 110 HP. Now, the best way to use 2-Time is to think of him as the tankiest survivor in theory. With his 80 and 110 health combined, he has 190 health. With his second life combined, normal 2nd life, he has 120 health. So he's a pretty good character. Oh my god. So before you use 2-Time, you should usually know how to juke very well. Because the point of 2-Time with him being the tankiest survivor is to take hits for different characters. Example, if a Shedletsky misses their sword slash, you move in, take the hit for them. Same with a guest. If they whiff a block or mess up a block, you go in, take a hit for them. If you see any Elliots slow on health, you try to take the chase away from them, you know? Those types of things. You take the chase away, you take hits, you know, that's what you have to do really with 2-Time. Now, he doesn't have any abilities yet, but I'm pretty sure they said they're gonna give him one. So, now, let's go to the next survivor. Yippee! Which is Guest. Guest 1337 is an average survivor. I wouldn't say he's extremely good because of the way he plays. Not the way he plays, just other reasons. So I'm using the gingerbread man skin because I love Christmas. Now his abilities are block, charge, and punch. Charge lets him charge when he hits the killer. He gains invincibility for a tiny bit and a bit of speed. The killer takes 20 damage and is pushed away, but they are not stunned. Now, some of you might be wondering, hey, why is Punch not available? Well, you can only get charges for Punch by blocking one of the killer's attacks. Now, blocking one of the killer's attacks is usually a bit hard because most of the time the killer is actually smart and if sees you blocking, won't do anything. Because right after you block, you can't move for a bit, and that gives the killer a chance to do one of their extremely strong moves. Every killer has a move that's really strong. For example, if I messed up a block, whoops, and a person playing Jason as killer was there, he would have hit me with a gashing wound, which deals a lot of damage. If I messed up the block, a cool kid would have been able to hit corrupt nature. Actually, a cool kid would react much differently to you using a block. He would wait for you to finish the block, then use walk speed override, then use but that doesn't matter. It's just you do not want to mess up this block. And I didn't know this for a while, but you can move. But to move charge around, you have to turn on shift lock and move your camera just to go in different directions with charge. You can't move it. You can't aim it with a joystick. That's pretty important. Now the punch is very interesting because if you use the punch right after a block, it becomes a parry, which deals more damage and winds up faster. If you successfully do a parry for the first time, you get a skin, which is ultra kill. Guys, it's just V1. It's pretty cool, but we're not gonna really talk about skins. That's all I have to say for guest. Another thing you want to do is be smart when you use the punch. Most people try going for parries end up dying. Another thing you should do is try to wait at an edge or a corner or whatever, a place where the killer can't see you, and the second they run up to you, punch. So now, let's move on to the next survivor. The next survivor we have on the list is 007 and 7. 007 and 7, I wouldn't say he's a great survivor, but I wouldn't say he's bad. It really depends how you use him. Now, 007 and 7 has 3 abilities: Clone, Cool GUI, and Inject. All Inject does is change the movement type of the clone. Now let's cover the clone first. When you use the clone, boop, you go kind of invisible for a bit, and the clone runs around. It depends. The way he wanders around depends on how you use Inject. There's 3 types. He moves where your cursor goes, which is only for PC. He moves aimlessly, and he pathfinds to the furthest spawn, which is always marked. Wait. So let me continue for a bit and see how funny this might turn out. The Cool GUI lets you teleport to the furthest survivor spawn. 007 and 7 spends 6 seconds just sitting down, just tapping on the Cool GUI, beep, boop, pop, beep, and then he teleports. No downsides, no effects, that's all. Let me use it right now. It shows up, hexing in progress, and I teleport to the furthest spawn. Which doesn't work because that would be very buggy. And that's all of his abilities. A tip I have is using the clone in the dark. Sometimes using the clone at spots where the killer expects you to juke. Example, on glass houses, the little spot at the house, you could walk over at the edge where people usually run off and do a clone. Beep. The clone usually goes forward, and when the clone goes forward, the killer might go for the clone, thinking this person jumped down when you're really just staying up. It works pretty well because that's what people usually do. And by the way, the clone dies after a bit of running. You also get monies if you trick the killer with the clone by making the killer hit the clone, which is pretty hilarious. Now let's move on to the next character. Oh yeah, and another thing I'd like to say is I recommend the best type to use is aimless. Because aimless resembles juking the most. And when the killer sees someone like running around trying to juke, he thinks I'm gonna try to catch them most of the time. Let's move on to the next character, which is Shadletsky. Now, I suck at this character. Let's just go. So, I'm using Santa Shadletsky right now, that's all. Shadletsky has 2 abilities, the slash and fried chicken. The slash is a simple slash he does to hit the killer and stun him for a bit. Stunning the killer gives you a bit of XP and monies. Now, I recommend stunning him by waiting at a wall right here. The killer walks up, whoop, you slash and hit him. Next ability is fried chicken. Yum, 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 yum. You take a bite out of your fried chicken and heal 35 HP. Now, this 35 HP, this was recently an update, heals gradually. So you want to make sure you heal when the killer is far and you aren't going to get hit by him to heal the full 35. Because if you get hit by the killer while healing gradually, the healing process completely stops, which is pretty balanced. Now, what I meant by using the slashes at the wall is you walk right here, the killer comes, without my arm showing, of course. The killer comes, whoop, boom, slash, the hitbox is pretty big, and he gets hit. That's all for Shadletsky. I don't know much tips for him, because, again, I'm not very good for him, but that was all I could give. So, the next survivor is Builderman. Builderman is a personal favorite of mine, because he's very fun to use. So, as you can see, I have the original Oh No's skin. Yes, Oh No's. It's the meme. It's the meme. So, Builderman can build a sentry and a dispenser. I'm going to build a sentry right now, and it always shows you what the sentries and dispensers are doing. So right here, this sentry, the blue radius is where you cannot place a where you should not place a dispenser or other sentry. The red radius is where if the killer goes here, pew pew pew. Now, every time a sentry breaks and you rebuild it, the red radius gets a bit smaller, so be careful about that. The normal sentry that shoots guns needs 2 slashers to break. And this goofy little thing, the dispenser, oh yeah, you can emote while building. Ready while you're building, yeah. Heals you. Anybody in this green radius gets healed 1 health a second. It gets slower depending on the Builderman and the server. Now, this blue radius is, again, where you can't place. A tip I have for Builderman is always try to loop with the sentry. You should usually place the sentries and dispensers close to each other and just stay there. Camping, yeah. Now, what I mean by looping at the sentry is put it in a place you can run around and put it there. If the killer doesn't go for the sentry, they're going to have slowness too the entire time they're trying to chase you, which is pretty funny. Now, and for Builderman, I recommend you place the dispenser somewhere where the killer won't really find it, so people can heal in peace and get back up to full health. Most of the time, you want to build this, again, you want to build the sentry and dispenser close to each other. I cannot stress this enough, because that's just the right way. So, let me kill myself. In the game, okay? In the game, calm down. Now, I go to the last character, Chance, which I absolutely hate and love playing at the same time. So the reason he's named Chance, using the V2 skin right now, is because you gamble the entire time. But now, the reason I have 76 HP is because of Chance's passive, Unpredictable Fate. I start off with a random amount of max health. From 70 to 120, I'm pretty sure. 70 to 115 or 110. So I have this coin. It's the main thing. You need it. So if I flip it and I'm getting charges every time. So either you flip the coin and it lands on a yay side where you get a charge for all abilities, or it landed on the yay side every time. Or it lands on the come on. How am I so lucky? Okay, or it lands on the not yay side, and you get weakness. Now this weakness stacks. Stacks to the point that you can get weakness 50. I mean, I've got weakness 50. Don't ask. So this is the first ability, the gun. Duolingo, I'm sorry, but your streaks are too intimidating. So the first ability is shoot. You hold your gun, shoot it. That time, I got lucky and the gun actually shot. There's 3 outcomes for the gun. The gun can either shoot, the gun can either blow up in your face, dealing 45 damage to you and the killer if the killer is near, or the gun just doesn't do anything. Nothing, literally. So I recommend having 3 full charges for the gun. Like, yeah. You want to have 3 full charges. Up here is the number of the charges. You want to have 3 of them for the gun. Because the more charges you have, the higher chance you have of actually shooting the killer and them getting hurt. So, and the more killers, the more chances in the same lobby, the lower chance of the gun. So, the next ability we're going to talk about is reroll. Reroll just simply removes all of the charges and changes your health to a random number between 70 to 120. Okay, I get it. Okay, gonna keep gambling because you need 3 charges on the other abilities to get this one, Hat Fix. Hat Fix removes all stacks of weakness that you have inflicted, and removes all charges on other abilities, and fixes your gun if it blew up. Now, how do I make the gun blow up? Okay, I want to do this. Flip the coin once. Let's see. 1 charge, blow up. See? Okay, I'm a magician. It blew up. It dealt 45 damage. Now, usually, I would be able to use the gun because it blew up. It broke. But if I use Hat Fix, it fixes the gun. Now, let me... Okay. Okay, here, I have Hat Fix. It's on cooldown. But if I did use Hat Fix, I would get the gun back. It would be fixed and it would work and I'd be able to shoot it with the same odds as always. Now, the reason for getting to 50 stacks of weakness is special is because you get the mirror chance. Okay, let's wait for the Hat Fix cooldown. I'm just gonna play Dance Dance Revolution. Okay, we got Hat Fix. I use it. I'm gonna flip the coin, and boom, the gun works, and it can shoot. Wow! So that's chance, and that means that's the last survivor. I will do the killer's guide in a separate video, but if you enjoyed this one, like and subscribe, please. It would be very nice. I mean, just subscribing would be nice. I'm not complaining. Comment any recommendations for other video. By the way, sorry for the lack of uploads. I haven't been able to really make any videos. I've been busy. I've had stuff, just stuff. So I will be making animations soon. I will be doing all of that, yada, yada, yada. And again, like and subscribe if you've enjoyed, and bye.